About a month ago, I went into the doctor with a real concern. I was feeling a lot of pain in my right shoulder, and I thought maybe I'd torn my rotator cuff. I've been living with that for years and honestly still playing sports, lifting some weights when I could, and just generally living what I thought was a pretty normal life. But over the last few years, I've felt this degradation of my health, and I've been dealing with headaches at a level that apparently I shouldn't have been, and I do feel a lot of pain in my neck, in my back, and just in general. So when I went into the doctor, she said, yeah, you probably tore your rotator cuff, but we're gonna do some extra scans. I felt her key in on something with my neck during the conversation, and since then, the rabbit hole just keeps getting deeper. Every time I talk to a doctor, I look up what's going on with me. So I'm trying not to do the whole look up online thing, because honestly, that stuff makes you crazy. But I wanted to come and talk to you today about this story. I'm trying to share more real things from my life with you guys, and this feels real enough to me. It's not a life-ending concern or anything like that, but it's given me a new appreciation for what some of you have gone through and what you've been asking for from me and also from your home and your tech. But you haven't gotten that, and I get it now. The story goes, I go in, I get this ultrasound on my shoulder, and I get a pretty quick confirmation of a torn labrum. Looks like a decent sized tear, and it's basically something I've had for a long time because I play lots of racket sports. I used to be pretty good at badminton, but I felt this decline over the years on what my shoulder and like overall what my body was capable of. But they took this x-ray of my neck, and I now have an x-ray done on my lower back as well. I have something called spondylosis, and maybe a few other things too, all related to issues with my spine. Now, spondylosis essentially means I lost the discs in between the bones in my spine, and it's in my neck. That's what spondylosis means. It means my bones essentially rub together, and it exists in my body like I have arthritis. So now I know what's been the cause of lots of headaches. I also know why I can't really bend my neck. Like that's it. And I know why I feel a lot of pain kind of radiating out, a lot of my neck, my lower back, and I know why I have back spasms. I also know why I have to keep myself pretty strong or it gets a lot worse. We're doing more and more testing to make sure we understand everything fully, and that means an MRI in June, and until then, I'm basically not allowed to do anything. Without getting too deep into things, the doctors scare you with statements like you can cut the nerves in your neck and that'll cause paralysis in your arms. Just scary stuff to hear, right? So, I'm not supposed to lift things above 15 pounds, and I'm definitely not supposed to be lifting anything over my head, and any sort of impact, sports related or otherwise, are very dangerous, and it's all a bunch of restrictions and fear-causing conversations. The mental side of things, I think, is much worse. Like the physical side of stuff, whatever. I've been living with headaches and pain and whatever for a long time, and I didn't even know. So it's not like it's that terrible, but the mental aspect of what I'm about to describe to you, I think, is the worst part. So, this is where I can talk about what I've learned. I was trying to move my television the other day, and then, like a shelf and a few other things around my living room. I finally got tired of the hashtag TV too high comments on some of our videos, and honestly, having my neck in this position is one of the things that gives me headaches. The more you know, right? But I'm not allowed to lift it, and there's a real fear in me that I'm gonna end up in surgery in June as a result of this or another thing. So, I don't want to make it worse in any way. I've felt these moments in my right arm where my nerves go a bit haywire if I stretch out my neck wrong. Anyways, I don't want to be completely stuck, and so I resolved myself not to move the television and to wait for my kid to help me. He's at school, I can wait, okay. But I decide that I can slide the shelf along, I can move these other items around. But now I'm paying attention to what my body's telling me, right? And I realize that as I'm moving these things, my back is flaring up and I'm just very uncomfortable shortly after sliding what feels like nothing to me around. Then I have to wait, and I have to get my kid to move a television that I've moved hundreds of times at this point. So, I'm constantly moving the things for little demos for videos, and sure, I can make that a fun thing with him and even make it a learning experience, but it feels weird to me. I shouldn't need that kind of help, and I probably shouldn't feel anything from pulling some shelves around and some stuff. So I'm getting the sense that there are real issues here, and I at least need to address them. But before I go down a rabbit hole of self-pity, just understand that I get that this isn't a major deal. I get that many of you are dealing with issues that are much worse than anything I'm dealing with. I get that my needs right now for, moving things around in my home are so minor in comparison to what you've been asking from me for years. I get a little bit about the restrictions that some of you have in your lives, and I don't think I had a true appreciation for that until this. You can always say that you understand someone's issues, but until you're literally looking at a television that you moved a month ago, and now you can't do that anymore, you don't really get what a restriction is. I didn't get the mental impact of that, but I really didn't get the feeling of the loss of freedom. That's what I'm now understanding the most about what smart homes and tech should and could be about. It could be about granting freedom to people who don't have that. And honestly, I just had a little taste here and I'm freaked out by it. I'm freaked out enough that I've sat here and I've considered options from a tech standpoint on how do you move a TV when you can't. I started thinking about partnerships I could make to solve issues like this, and I started all kinds of projects in my head. This has started a process for me, and I know a lot of you have been there for a long time, so forgive me for just catching up. I'm waking up a little bit, and I probably just understand the tip of the iceberg. Anyways, I wanted to share a little bit of my story with you, and if you're interested, I'll keep you updated. None of this stuff is gonna end what I do here, and I have a great support system already in my life. I have people who will help me if I need to move something. I got a kid that I can extract all kinds of labor from. I have a great doctor that's helping me to rehab my shoulder, and he's helping me to learn how to be active with all these weird things going on with my spine. So I'm really positive about the eventual ending to this, but the real point of what I'm saying is that I hear you guys more. I'd love for you guys to tell me what you're struggling with and what you've always been looking for. If I can come up with something, I'll share it, or maybe as a community, we bring that together. Now, I know this is a pretty different video for us on Automate Your Life, so if you're here in the video, thanks for taking the time to watch this. I'm so grateful that I get to do this in my life, and I'm so grateful that this allows me to be in control of a lot of these health aspects of my life now. I don't have to go to work in an office environment that'll aggravate a lot of what's going on. That's a huge benefit, and it's honestly because of you guys. So thank you for providing me this opportunity, and thank you for watching a very different video from us. Otherwise, let's go forward. Let's just keep on that journey to a place where we can truly live smart.